Getting those angles all perfected, huh?
Not really, but hey folks, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all see me? Can y'all hear me too? Hey, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I'm just trying to set this thing up. We're gonna start a workshop right now in a few minutes. What's going on, Irvin? I know the basic clocks in Google AdWords. There you go. All right, let's start. Can y'all hear me clearly? Can y'all hear me? Give me. There you go. So yes.
Yes,
All right, cool.
okay.
¿Qué? ¿Café Commerce o San Antonio PL?
San Antonio PL.
All right, so let's start, folks.
I have both of them.
Today's gonna be a very short workshop because the library has to close like within an hour and a half. So let's do this. So in this room we have two people that use the Google AdWords. How long have you been using the Google AdWords?
A year.
A year? Are you getting any good conversion? Are you getting good traffic?
No, it's just traffic, but the conversion to try to get clients from that to call to the office, that is very difficult.
Very low, yeah. And the thing with what Mari was saying.
No office.
Law office.
Yeah, what Mari was saying, because unlike Facebook advertising, Google AdWords freaking has so much stuff. I mean, it's so much stuff, like so many options. It's just like crazy. Okay. So anyway, if you want to connect with the social, just look up for my information on all the social channels, and that's my cell phone number. And you're more than welcome to check my personal website. I put a personal website now, so you can check it out. Okay. All right. So this is gonna be very basic, nothing fancy. I'm thinking to do another one maybe next month, hands-on. Maybe, I don't know, it could be a 6-hour workshop. That's what I'm thinking, because it's too big.
I think that would be great.
A lot to go over.
You know, there's a lot to go over. Because I just went through 30 minutes ago. I'm like, that's not going to cover all these. This is too much. So I'm thinking to do maybe a 6-hour workshop to go through each section of the AdWords step by step. So that's one option. If you guys want it, let me know. Then we'll do it. All right. So today's hashtag will be just hashtag Google. If you learn anything new and you want to tweet it or Facebook it, just go ahead and use hashtag Google. All right, so first thing first, of course, when I ask you this question, where do you usually see the ad?
That's top 3.
On the top and also on the side. Did you guys notice something different with the new version of the ads right now?
You can hardly even tell their ads.
Correct.
The little yellow is too big like this.
You're correct, because previously this whole background used to be like kind of light yellow.
Yes.
And same thing with this area. So they changed it now, because they know the majority of the consumer will look at the organic side. That's like almost 80 to 90% will look at the organic side of things, and maybe 14 to 20% will look at the ad section. Even though few people look at the ad section, Google still makes like millions of dollars from that. Okay, because it's very targeted. So what they did, they removed the yellow section to make it look like natural and organic, but in reality they're not. Yeah. Even though what they did, they used the small symbol right there. People miss that. So according to the studies, they actually noticed that more people actually clicking on those areas. And they added a new feature called extension. You know how sometimes if you write a website of a company, it will show the name of the, let's say, your law firm, plus the contact page, service page, right? Yeah. You can do the same thing with AdWords right now. Oh. You can add like different page. Yes.
Very deceiving.
Well, you can say that, but
or what are they?
Yeah, you can make like a contact page. You can make like a service page and have the link go there, but it looks like organic. But again, it's also advertising, right? So are you sure? Is this the only place you can see the ads?
At the bottom too?
Yes, no, not the bottom, just the top and the right hand side. But are you sure? Is this the only place?
No, Maps. Google Maps.
Okay, good. Google Maps, you'll see it there. What else? Google Plus. What else?
News. No. Google News, no.
Oh, YouTube? Are you want to see them on YouTube?
Yes, you'll see them on YouTube. When the video plays, that's from Google.
And Facebook.
No. I'm not gonna say Facebook. That's Facebook. Right? You're not gonna see Google AdWords on Facebook. What else are you gonna see? You talk about YouTube. What else? Have you heard of Display Network? You can see some of their ad with the Display Network. Display Network means YouTube, Google Shopping, Blogger, any Google product sites, and sites that Google are partnered with. So let's say New York Times. There's some sort of partnership between them and Google. Sometimes you'll see your ad image shows up in New York Times. or Time Magazine, or Newsweek Magazine. That is called display network. So the ad doesn't just show up in Google search, it can show up other places, which is pretty cool because I can have my ad show up in different other websites. Does that make sense? I think those are the ones that you haven't probably tried.
Are those extra thing, or is that part of your Google?
It's all part of the Google. I mean, it's the same price. It doesn't, you just have to do an extra feature, like you have to upload an image or use your link, and Google automatically pick up the image from your link.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you can also make an actual image for the Google ad that can display somewhere else. That's what's called display network. Okay, so it's not just in the search, but it's somewhere else. So for instance, when Newsweek completely went digital, like they basically shut down their print, the actual print, I was very happy. You know what? Now I can target my customer on Newsweek's website. Somebody go to Newsweek. Sometimes if you go to the Newsweek website, you'll see on the side there's some ads, right? It's actually from Google. How did this shop end up being there? Well, because advertisers are paying for it.
The same way as
Yeah,
you.
just like the search, yeah. But it shows up on the selected, that's why I don't have a list of who are Google's, like display network partners. But if I find out, I'll send you all those.
So do you mean like when they have the search option within their site, like on USA Today, it says search, here for like sanitary Spurs and the things that come up.
Sometimes you will see, on their website, you will see there's an ad if they allow it, because some like a news agency sites or any news
That's
website,
true.
they have banners, they have ad on the side
Yeah.
for different businesses
Yeah.
because they have some sort of partnership. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So that's pretty cool because I can have my ad show up somewhere else. Okay, so we already know this. That's just going to show up on the top or on the side. Now, what we need to understand is this: how does it work? Right? It's pretty simple. So somebody just goes to Google. They type, for instance, clothing boutique, right? And it will end up being on the upper part or the right hand side. The mistake that most people do when you set up an ad, based on how you wrote the ad, you have to make sure that it goes to a specific page. What I mean by that, if your ad talks about services, let's say in your law firm business, if you have a specific service, don't let the visitor go to the home page. That's the mistake number one. You have to make sure that the ad actually goes to the specific page you talked about. If my ad is about DOI, I need to make sure that when they hit the link, it actually goes to the DIY page directly. That's the mistake number one. Don't make them go to the homepage. Why? Because you don't want them to figure it out. Does that make sense? If the ad was just about the service in general or about the name of the business, then you can point it back to the homepage. Okay? But technically, this is how it works. Very simple. This is how it works. Somebody writes something on the search, they'll see it on the ad, and they click on the ad, and it goes to your website. And the only time you're going to pay in two situations, right? In two situations, you're going to pay for the click. One is when they click the actual ad, you're going to pay for it. It could be $1, it could be $20, it could be $100. You know what I mean? The second is you can also pay if they call you. So there is a way on the mobile device when your information shows up and they click the phone number to call you, you're going to also pay for that. But if your ad shows up on the search engine and nobody clicks, you're not going to pay for it. Is that clear? So make the distinction between this and
That's
that.
Google AdWords.
I'm sorry?
Is that Google AdWords?
Yes, that's Google AdWords. That's what it's called. It is Google AdWords. Sometimes they call it pay-per-click, PPC, or sometimes they call it cost per click. It's all the same. Cost per impression means for every 1,000 times the ad shows up, you're going to probably pay something. So, but by default, most people go with what? Cost per click. Right? And some try with cost per impression because they want to just make sure the ad shows up 1,000 times. Okay, so there are two different ways of setting up the ad. Any question? Are we good? All right. So here we go. We have Google AdWords, which is the one we all know. Then we also have Google Express. Two different things, okay? If you look at the description here, so for Google AdWords, you're only going to pay for the clicks, both of them yes. Automated management, not in Google AdWords because everything is manual. You have to set it up. Yes?
How do I download that?
Presentation?
Yeah.
Just go to the meetup. Go to the meetup, go to more, go to files, it's up there. Okay? It's not automated. Why? Because it means you have to manually configure everything. That's why it's, like you said, I mean, even Mario said that it's too much work, right? But the Express is so easy. It only takes like 6 steps. and I'll show you what they are.
But limited to a radius around physical
Yes,
location.
and you're absolutely correct, Melissa. And not just that, you have no control in terms of keyword.
Oh, what?
Well, yeah, you have no control in terms, because it's very limited. There's nothing else you can do. I'm going to show you how it looks, okay? Website required for this one, you need to have a website. But for the Adwords Express, you don't have to. So if you don't have a website, you can still run the ad. Okay? Ads in Google search, yes. Ads can be on regular website, yes. But this one only in the US. It's not going to show international. Okay? Mobile ad, both of them, yes, they're going to show in the mobile ads. Advanced ad format, this one, yes, you can have advanced features, but not with the Adwords Express. Okay? And geographic targeting, so Google AdWords worldwide. Okay? Okay? Worldwide. And for the Express, it's between like 15 to 40 mile radius from your shop, from your actual business. So if your business is located downtown, then that means 40 miles from your area.
So if your web commerce kind of think that your physical location,
then it's not good to use it. Because one of my clients, for some reason, he does roofing. His address is in Helotes. So he's using this one. No wonder he's not getting the, the proper click that he needs, because it's only 40 miles from where he's at. But he wants to dominate San Antonio. So I did advise him to go to this, but he hasn't decided yet. So that's the situation that he's in right now, because he's using the Google Express and it's automated. I mean, you just set up the account and Google will take care of it.
where do you verify your business address so that they can go by locale? I mean, are you able to use like maybe a P.O. box? So say if he's in Helotes.
That is a beautiful question. That is an excellent question, Melissa. Typically when it comes to Google, you're not supposed to use P.O. box.
You can't.
You can.
Yes.
Basically what you have to do, you have to set up the Google business page.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
It used to be called Google Place, Google Plus Place.
Yeah.
Now it's called Google My Business. So you're supposed to use that and verify it. Once it's verified, then you can use.
And also they verify is the physical address, send you a letter to them.
Oh yes.
Because that was one of my cases that we changed one of the office to another location.
Uh-huh.
I tried to only modify the address, and then they say, no, you need the letter we sent to you with the code. They say, what?
There are actually two ways. You can call them.
And they'll call you back.
You can call them, but that number is not public. It's hidden somewhere. I have to give it to you if you need it. Yeah, it's not like publicly announced. So I can give you that number. You can call them and verify right away. But you're absolutely correct. The traditional way of verifying, after you submit for the verification, within 10 business days, they will send you a postcard. You're supposed to open the postcard and put the PIN number and verify it.
What about with multi-locations?
Excellent question. I love that question. With the multiple location, what you need to do is apply for each one of them, but each location should have a different phone number. You can't use the same number. Yeah, everything will be the same. The name of the address and the phone number has to be different. But anything else, like the name of the business, contact information, social media, whatnot, will be similar. But the phone number has to be different, and of course the address is different, and maybe some images. Okay. Any more questions? Are we good?
Yes.
All right. Were you able to download? It's not there. You have to log in. Did you log in?
Yeah, but I cannot enter it.
You gotta log in. Oh.
And I never had problem before. It says this page is not
Did you
available.
verify? Did you accept?
It could be the Wi-Fi.
When you
Could be the Wi-Fi.
connected to the Wi-Fi?
Because I was having some trouble today.
When you connect to the Wi-Fi, you're connected. Did you get the library to pop up? You have to say you accept the terms.
It doesn't pop up anything.
Just connect.
All right. So let's see.
Okay.
We good? Are you still having an issue with the Wi-Fi? You can ask Carla because she might have a Cafe Commerce connection.
All right.
You got it? Okay. Cool. Any more questions? We're good. Next. So what is Adwords Express? Like as I mentioned, very simple, very fast, very quick. You don't have to be tech savvy. This is for the lazy people, right? This is for the people that are scared of complexity, right? I'm scared of complex stuff. So that's what it's for. Okay? And let me show you the process. It's so simple. I mean, I think my daughter can do it. Okay? And she's like 10. So here we go. The first thing you do, this is how it looks on the mobile device. Always comes with the call number. Okay? So when they can find you on the mobile, automatically they can call you back. But check this. So this is how it looks. So when you go to Google, do a search for Google AdWords Express. Okay? Because you see how it looks different. It doesn't look like the AdWords, the design of the site. So once you log in, of course, you have to have a Gmail account, right? Once you log in, it will ask you to basically describe your business. Of course, you don't need the website for the AdWords Express, but it's good to have it anyway. The name of the business, the address of the business. That's step number 1. Okay? Step number 2, you gotta select your audience. So the target is within 15 to 40 miles radius. I would select, of course, 40 miles because that's the maximum. Does that make sense? Then when you target, you can also target by the city, you can target by the state, or the whole county. Okay? And it gives you the option, what county, what city right there. But again, I don't see anything about keyword. Okay? So that's step number 2. Step number 3, now you're going to create the ad. Here, you can have the headline. You know, let's say San Antonio wedding planner or San Antonio plumbing services. That's the headline. And add the ad text right here. You can add the phone number and the location. Okay? Once you do that, you can actually put a budget. You can put like $5 a day, $10 a day, $50, $100, however you want to do it. And you can turn it off anytime. Okay? That's step number 4. And then step number 5, you review how the ad looks like and you check out. That's it. Done.
Does it give you an option to see how it looks on mobile device too?
Nope, that's
Before
it.
you review it?
Don't, you know how you saw it here? It's going to look like this. Like that.
Okay.
So you're going to have the headline, the link if you have the link, if not, the text and the phone number. Okay? But as you can see, it is so simple. This is the most simplest setting of your Google AdWords, but of course you have to have a business location and the ad only going to be within 40-mile radius, and Google controls it. That means, hello, how are you? It's been a while. Okay? So, you see, this is like the most ridiculous, easy way of setting up Express ad. I mean, it's like, really? They don't even need to hire anybody for this one, right?
This is it. Yeah, 40 miles. That's
Yeah,
it.
very simple, and Google decides how you can get the ranking and everything. Because we don't have control over the keywords, we don't have control over nothing. Simple as that, okay? Any question? We good? All right. Now, after you verify it, here you're going to put all your information, your credit card and whatnot, and just check out. And that's it. And done. That was Google Express AdWords, or Google AdWords Express. How simple is that? 6 steps. You don't need to be geek to set it up. Okay. Now, when it comes to the actual Google AdWords, this is the heavy beast that got tons of crazy features. As I mentioned, I might do a workshop, like a seminar, 6-hour seminar, to show you all how to go through each step on the back end to understand it. Okay, because it has so many options. Just like Google, just like the Google Analytics and the Webmaster Tool, this one has the most stuff that we don't want to miss. Okay? Alright, so in Google AdWords you can control the cost, you can control the ad, you can control the keyword, you can update the keyword, you can change them, you can analyze it, you can look at it every week, you can pause a couple of ads, you can do so much with this one. Okay, because initially when you run the ad, you're not going to get fast result quickly. Does that make sense? You always have to test. So you're going to do your best, research, run it for a week, see how much money is getting used for clicks, see how many conversion you're getting. If you're not getting enough conversion, you have to stop it. You have to change, use different keyword. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So there are a couple of tools you can use, like typically Google Keyword Planner comes with it, but I recommend you use keywordtool.io and Keyword Spy. Because Keyword Spy will show you the actual ad of your competitor that is working. Okay, so write down keywordspy.com and keyword tool. I don't know if tool or tools.io. In fact, remember to show you how to use those two websites, okay? All right. Yes, Melissa, you had a question?
Yeah, I was trying to remember. On the conversion, is there a good technique that you've seen, like as far as like, okay, well,
because you don't know where traffic's coming in sometimes, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a walk into the actual business. I mean, is it best to put on some of those Google ads, you know, mention you saw this on Google, just so you're able to kind of measure? What's a good way of measuring your conversion rate from, here's the ad, and I know how many people are walking in off of that Google ad?
That is an excellent question. There's a feature in Google Analytics. It's called Goal page.
You need to match this report with analytics and then get all the statistics.
Yeah, so you can set up a goal page with a phone number. So what happens, Adwords will tell you how many click to the site, right? So let's say you got 10 clicks. Out of the 10, it will actually tell you how many called from the 10 clicks by setting up that goal page. And not just that, if you connect it with the Google Analytics, the thing with the Analytics will pull everything. It will pull the organic traffic. It will also pull the Google AdWords traffic. So what you do, you just have to go to, I think, acquisition, all traffic, then check the paid traffic and look at that, because you don't want to mix with all the traffic.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, for the paid traffic, I can understand, and the Google call, that helps. But for the mom and pop kind of owner, when they want to know, well, you know, really when that physical person walks in or when that phone call comes in, have you seen, though, just effective wording within a Google ad that helps that, you know?
Yeah, Google AdWords will tell you who actually, not necessarily who actually called, but somebody called the number, right? Like somebody actually dialed.
Yeah, that is the problem. They need to click call to get a content. Because, for example, I'm running a campaign for a car dealer.
Yeah.
They have 20 calls a day. But the sales people say, oh, it did not come from Google, it did not come from Facebook, it did not come from anyone. But the people lie because after you cancel the campaign, you only have 5 calls. That is the only problem. You need that physical monitoring.
There is another, Google also recommends third-party companies for like a phone tracking. I think one of them is called...
one of the best way is that you can create a traffic number and you can monitor that.
There's a third-party company, I forgot that, I don't know, Relay Call or something like that. If you use that number, you can actually record it. It automatically records the conversation. So what happened, you have to train the business owner too. Like when somebody calls you, have to ask them, how did you find us?
Yes.
That's the thing, how did you find it? Then I can tell you paid or organic. You're gonna ask them, how did you find us? Oh, we found you on Google. If they're willing to give more information, now did you look at the upper part, the lower part? It's up to you, but they're gonna say that. So business owner needs to always tell the customer, how did you find us? Does that make sense? But when it comes to the AdWords want to show you that when you run the ad, it will show you how many clicks you actually got. And how many got called. Now, what happened between the customer and the business owner, unfortunately, there's nothing else you can do there. You have to ask them, hey, Google AdWords is telling me that you got 100 clicks and there were 25 calls. Did you get 20? And it will show you the date. So if it's Saturday, it will tell you 25 calls. So you can call the customer, right? How many calls did you get today? If they say 50, that means out of the 50, 25 possibly was from Google AdWords.
Do they also give you the analytics to how many decided to click, you know, from the address to maps?
That's an excellent question. I am not sure, but that's an excellent question I have to look into.
Because to me that would tell me, okay, well, you know, they found it, they looked, not only that, they just get the directions to drive to that location.
Right.
Because to me, that would be a great indicator. Well, I know they must have physically gone on here because, you know, once I hit that and I'm going through my navigator's taking me there already.
That's a good one. I never looked at it that way, but definitely want to look for you. I haven't looked at that for you. Let's see what happens. That's pretty cool though.
That would be right, because you would know that they're going to the location.
Yeah, I'll look into it for you, definitely. All right, any more questions? These are awesome questions, folks. Any more? We good? All right. So how does Google AdWords work? You know, the same thing. AdWords is an auction. Advertisers bid on keywords, win a position on Google. Winners are determined by the combination of bid and quality. So let's say me, Mario, and yourself, we all have a law firm. We do the same thing, DOI. All right. So how can we show up? Or how does Google decide which one's supposed to be on the top?
More traffic than the other one?
And how does Google because all of us gonna pay the same money? How Google decide I'm gonna be number 1 above Mario?
Keyword search?
How relevant your ad is.
It's ABC alphabet. by Adwords?
No.
I was
So-
thinking by words you use in your page, like the spider engine going, you've given more recommendations
Right.
on DWI, more
Well,
advice.
there are many factors. There are actually 3 factors. Like you said, relevant of the landing page has to be relevant. The keyword also has to be relevant, and the price. So let's say all 3 of us. I'm gonna put let's see, $4 is 2 is 1, right? Let's say this is Mario. This is me. I'm spending $2, and there you go, right? So technically, I mean, the one who pays more, of course, who's gonna be on the top. So what happened? Let's say this: you decided to pay $4 per click, right? But your monthly is only $500. Mario decided to put like $2,000 per month, even though it's $1 a click, right? So Google make a decision who is spending more and who's actually doing for this. So they're gonna make that decision, and also they're gonna look at your landing page. Is your landing page like relevant exactly to what you're advertising? Are the keyword relevant to what you're looking for? So they have to look at all these factors, and then they're gonna decide to put you whether above Mario or myself or whatnot. Yes.
Do they have plenty of employees to be looking at every website?
I'm sorry, what happened?
Do they have plenty of employees to be looking at every website? I know some of it, a lot of it's automatic, but you know, the automatic robots can only do so much.
It's the crawler.
I'm not understanding I'm sorry, I'm not understanding your point.
He wants to know how Google goes to find everybody.
It's all algorithm.
Yeah,
It's
this
Google.
is the
So
crawler.
They have a supercomputer, right?
Those algorithms work that good?
Yes!
Yeah.
It's
They
Google,
have the best
man.
one. Yeah, they have the best one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Google. They even have their own program language that they give it for free. It's Google.
Do you remember the little video that is the crawler? That
Recently, they made a lens
Yeah.
that can measure your diabetes. That's what Google do. They even freaking build a car without a driver. What do you expect?
Austin.
Austin, right? Google, of course. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're perfect, but they are really, really good. Like in the search engine, they've been advancing. Like right now, with the latest update in the search engine, like the hummingbird and whatnot, Google. I'm not gonna say they're a human being, but they try to understand what the consumer is actually typing, even if it's a robot. You know, when it comes to Adwords, I mean, it's a giant. I mean, they invest a lot of money in the platform.
23 million.
Oh, wow.
Billions.
A day or a month? A year?
I don't remember now.
Okay. But in order for Google to qualify, they have to look at these 3 areas, right? That's how you get qualified. Plus, they're going to tell you the score, whether it's relevant, whether it's working or not. But you have to make sure that, like you said, the keyword has to be relevant, the landing page has to be really relevant, and of course, if you bid more, there's a chance that you might rank as well, okay? Any questions so far? We good?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So the maximum bid, this is what you are willing to pay more, but that doesn't mean you're going to pay. For instance, if I'm going to pay $7 a click, that doesn't mean I'm going to pay $7 a click. I'm just saying this is how much I can pay as a maximum bid. Does that make sense? Once the AdWord is, like, let's say, confirmed and verified, then I can go back and change it back to, like, I don't know, $2 a click. Does that make sense? I can tweak with that. A daily budget, yes.
So like as a new business, you probably want to invest more, but as time progresses and you build up your business, you...
That is an excellent question. What you do, first, you have to do the keyword research. When you do the keyword research, Google will tell you what's the best maximum bid. So you don't have to, just figure it out.
Estimate.
Yeah.
And how you can pay for every word.
Yeah. Just go based on that and select it. Does that make sense? When you select it, there's a chance that if Google tells you this is going to cost you maybe maximum of $2, that doesn't mean you're going to pay $2 a click. It's possible you're going to pay 1.6 or 1.50 or maybe in 3. Does that make sense? But you have to rely on the Google Keyword Planner to give you some idea what are the suggested price for the bids. And plus how much you're putting in the actual daily budget. We recommend our clients, they should not spend less than $1,000 a month. But if you're a beginner, maybe you can put like, I don't know, $10 a day. Does that make sense? But again, if you put $10 a day, that means within a few minutes, the ad is just gone. Does that make sense? If you're paying like $1 a click, maybe within a few hours, oh, $10 is gone. 1 hour, that's it, nothing happened.
Oh, so then after that money that you allocated is gone?
You can stop it, yeah, that's basically stop. There's no more, ad is not running anymore.
Wow.
So
the next day.
It's going to stop the next day, yeah. So if you can set up like that. Some people, especially the beginners, when they start Google AdWords, this is a mistake that they make. They just run it. They don't put limit. They don't put a cap, and it just keeps hitting, like, you know, charging you. No, you got to put a cap. You know, how much you want to pay on a daily basis or on a monthly basis. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to waste all your money.
So like initially, could you like, you know, like you notice on TV some commercials run during a certain time, like in the morning
Right.
or in the afternoon. So could you like initially, like the first 3 months, kind of leave it open, so then you can afterwards with the little tools see when you get the most hits. Is it in the morning or at midnight? You know, you have your night owls or you have your early
They have
owls?
hours?
I don't know. Maybe they have, you know.
I never see that. They have
I never
hours.
seen that either. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like you're running and after today you saw it's how many clickers.
After 2 days.
Yeah.
You can set time, so like the ads I have run from 8 to 5 because the business wants somebody to be there on the other end if they call.
Right.
If they see it on Sunday at 2 in the afternoon, sure they get a click, but if there's nobody there to answer,
Right.
they call back. You know?
Wasting money.
Yeah.
Right. There was one of not my client, but it was another company that hired us to help their client, and they put a specific budget, like $45 a day. Right? But in the weekend, before the weekend, all the $45 was gone, like got used up. And they were mad, like, why there's no add-ons on the weekend? Well, because the $45 just used up. We can't, it's automatic. If it's used up, there'd be no ad. Why is it not showing on the ad? I'm like, you did it, man.
I heard somewhere that Google had a control where your competitor can be clicking on your ad all the time to waste your money.
No, that's not true. Anybody clicks, you're gonna pay for it. Yeah.
We have an intern do that all day.
I'm the intern. Yeah, go to my computer, just make them click, 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 right?
Sometimes just for funny, I found what is the word pay more. Like, okay, I pay a $1, they pay $5. They just click it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's the one scary thing about Google AdWords, like the SEO. And SEO doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people click, you're not paying for anything. But in Google AdWords, if you have a competitor who doesn't like you, unfortunately, they can do that.
So how do you know, I mean, you know who your competitor is, but how do you know how much that they've allotted for that?
Keywordspy.com.
They don't show you what's the 5 word they use.
Yeah.
The top 5.
Yeah. Then you can actually analyze your competitor's keyword. It's so easy to. There's so many tools out there. Then you can run those keyword in the Google Planner, and it will tell you what's the price.
But at some point, Yusuf, with the Google AdWords, like let's say your campaign, like you said, runs out by Friday. But at some point, hasn't your organic ranking on Google page bring you up? I mean, can you actually get to that instance where, and I think, yeah, you do, because you see it like on the ad.
Right, and also
then,
organic.
And on the
yeah.
top organic, top 5 or something like that.
Right.
Is, like I said, that balance there, I mean, so that way you're like, well, why am I paying when I'm already coming up?
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. So in that situation, what you do, you have to look at your finances, you have to look at all the strategies. Like we have some clients that we do everything. We also do the AdWord. But when we notice that the AdWord doesn't bring enough conversion, right? They're just spending too much money in the click, and the organic is bringing a lot of click. They will tell them there's no need, just go ahead and discontinue using the AdWord because your organic is bringing more traffic, more calls.
Yeah, but after some time, Google identify that
Right.
and move it to the second page.
Oh, well.
Yeah, because
Right.
I run it for 3 months, some advertisement, and help me to rank my page in the top 5. But after I stop advertisement, they move to the second page. Say, what?
That's why you have to do the SEO all the time, because in the SEO you also have to be organic, you also do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And that's why I prefer SEO over AdWord. Because it's less expensive. I mean, you can pay like a flat fee for a certain keyword to hire somebody to do the work for you. But imagine, like right now, we have a customer that gets like, 500 hits a day. They don't pay for the AdWord, but they get 500 hits a day on the site. So they don't need an AdWord. When we run the AdWord, they used to get like 150, and the conversion was like 0.something%. There's no need for that. Does that make sense? So they rely on the organic, and not just that. As a business, you don't want to throw everything in one basket. What I mean by that, you still have to use social media, you have to use email marketing, you have to use all the other ways of online marketing for the purpose of what? Getting the customer, find your website, and buy and convert. Does that make sense? As a digital marketer, you don't want to just do SEO only. That's a big mistake. You don't want to do social media only. No, you gotta diversify. You gotta try everything. We have clients that get traffic organically, that get customer through social, that gets customer through the email marketing, or Facebook advertising, or Adwords. So the more customer they get, the more we're going to utilize it. The one that doesn't work, we just shut it down and just stop it, or pause it for a while. We've known a customer that spent like $35,000 in Adwords a year. A year. They had no clue what they were doing. They just started by themselves. Wasn't the Express, they used the regular one. And they paid, some of the click, I'm not kidding, some of the click were like, $50, $20 a click. I'm like, no wonder it wasn't working, So that's why you need to have a team that are certified, that understand how Adwords works, so they can analyze it every week.
Yeah, and one of the good things when you start using Google is you can use the customer service for the first 3 months from Google, and they help you to customize your advertisement. And you have the experts with that.
Yeah, so that's why, when I used to do my sales, there was too much headache, too much work. You can see how much, forget it, I'm just gonna hire a team of Google certified people. They can just run everything. So what they do, they're on the ad, they're on the keyword, they even make the landing page, everything, and they test it. And there's no contract. Like SEO, there has to be a contract. Like what I mean by that, you have to at least spend 6 months of doing a lot of work. When you see results, then you continue. But Facebook advertising, Google AdWords, there's no contract. You can stop at any time. But we tell our clients, you should have at least minimum 3.
3 months, right?
Minimum. That's just minimum, because you want to see what happens with my investment. If you put your money in Yellow Pages, people put it for a year at the Yellow Pages. But like every month, nothing happens. But at least for AdWords, of course I prefer 6 months, but for a beginner, I would say try for 3 months. And if you spend like $500 a month, see what happens. But the most important thing is that phone call. Because if you get a lot of clicks and somebody actually buy your product and your product costs like $1,000, $500, then that $500 that you invested, it's worth it, right? But if you spend $500 and you get one call or one customer that pays you $20, then you lost. What? $500? $20 for a $400? But even this, it comes with experience. Even if you learn everything, that doesn't mean you're going to get quick results. You have to do trial and error. You got to test it. You got to test it, which one works, which one doesn't. Because when you do the keyword in Google AdWords, you have a bunch of keywords that you can use. And Google rotates. Google will pick up, will show for each one of them, and see which one brings a more conversion. You're not going to select one keyword. You're going to have like probably, 20, 30 keywords that you're going to use for the advertising. Any questions? All right. Yes.
I have a question. It may be a little bit off subject, but a lot of new clients, they want to get ranked yesterday. Like, their site goes live and they're calling 5 minutes later, where am I? And it's like, slow down. So what some of them will do is throw money at a situation and start doing the PPC.
Right.
At least initially. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the PPC will eventually then translate to some organic traffic?
That is a beautiful question. From my experience, I haven't seen any PPC help the site to end up being organic. I don't know why. It didn't make any sense to me. You know why? Because if I do PPC, if I bring a lot of click on the site, that means people are clicking on the site. So that should technically make me be, end up on organic, right?
Right.
But I haven't seen that.
So basically any credibility, I guess, or authorship, whatever, you get through PPC isn't going to translate.
It does, because I have a client right now. Unfortunately, he's one customer I have right now. He does a moving company. I don't know whoever built the site for him before, whoever did the SEO before. I don't know what they did, but we found out that they were blocking the search engine from indexing. And when he left, you go the robot.txt file.
Yeah.
We talked about the robot.txt file, how you can block the whole site. So they blocked it. So when he left, we didn't know. I've been working on it for like 2 months. I'm like, why is not? We go to analytics, we see the traffic is going up, right? But the site is not ranking. His website is like on the 8th page of Google. Suddenly, one of my team looked at, somebody just was blocking the site. Oh, shoot. So now we have to remove that robot.txt file and put the correct one, and it's just taking forever. For some reason, unfortunately, he's not ranking. So we're on Google AdWords. So we did a test. We're on Google AdWords. Now he's on the front page of the AdWords only, but not the organic part. Even though we're blogging, we're doing social media, it's like a mysterious, one of those things like...
It's like, in my example, I run in Adwords for 3 months, and after the second month, the page was ranking in the first place, in the top 5. But the web page was the same. I don't have login, anything was the same. I don't know how.
Sometimes,
something.
you know, you're absolutely correct because Google has more than 200, 2,000 factors to rank you.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I haven't seen where I run the ad when I stop, it's there. I haven't seen that. In fact, when I stop the ad, they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
Because think about it, because Google wants to make money. So if you're gonna enter showing up organically, Google's gonna lose money. Think about it. Does that make sense? If Google's gonna charge you for the ad, they're not gonna organically. Yeah, because if you show organically, why they should pay you? Because that's why there's. For some reason, this is like hilarious. Among the SEO and Google, we don't have a honest, good relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's like all like a friction underground. It's love and hate. They act like they care, but like when Matt Cutts, talks about the new updates, sometimes it's very frustrating because the update is not clear. Like this say, if you over optimize, you're gonna get penalized. I'm like, what is over optimization? They don't tell you. I'm like, they want to make it big. But think about it from a business point of view, why would they do that? If they're making money off of the AdWord, why are they going to end up making your website show organically? Unless if you, it's the funny part. Google also tells you when you build a site what you need to do in terms of SEO. Like how to build a site properly, how to be shown organically. Does that make sense? They do that. So if you show organically, following the rules, then you're good. Because the bot, the Google Spider, goes through the pages, does a lot of things in order for you to get ranked, but it doesn't happen right away. The thing with the SEO, it takes time. AdWord, within 24 hours, you're in the ad section. Why? Because you're paying for it. So when you meet a client like that, you have to explain to them, well, here's the question you have to ask them. Why do you want to rank on Google? That's the first question. Why not on Yahoo or Bing? Right? Then secondly, what does ranking mean to you? Because some people don't understand what ranking means. They think, oh, I just want to be on the front page of Google. I'm like, why? Well, because people tell them to do. I'm like, do you think if you're on the front page of Google, you can always get a conversion? No, that doesn't, not necessarily. Maybe your website sucks, right? Maybe you don't have anything there. So being on the front page doesn't matter. What you need to explain to them is, listen, in order for you to get targeted traffic, get conversion, there's so many things we can do, right? We can do Google AdWords, we can do Facebook advertising, we can do SEO, we can do social media for the long term. On one hand, do the AdWords because you want to make sure that are you getting the click or traffic or not. But AdWords is going to cost you a lot of money, right? Because you have to tell them minimum you have to spend $1,000 a month minimum. Then they have to pay you for managing it. They're not going to manage it by themselves. They have to pay you another $1,000 a month so you can run the ad, run the banner, run the image, do the testing every week, close it, open it, tweak it. Does that make sense? There's another cool feature in Google AdWords called retargeting, which I'm going to talk about in the seminar. How to do retarget marketing, right? So you have to charge them $1,000 minimum for their minimum monthly payment to Google, but you also have to charge them a minimum $1,000 to manage it. That's just Google AdWords. Now, if you talk about SEO and social media, that's like another $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Does that make sense?
37.9 millions in advertising for Google.
Is it every month or in total?
2011 revenues in 2011.
They made 30 million, right?
37.9 billions.
Billions.
In 2011, we are 2015.
Oh, it's probably 100 billion, right? So, but you understand what you have to tell the client, that you have to explain to them. Anytime you have a customer that's trying to rush in, and from experience, that's a big problem. I don't take any client like that. I try to understand the client's need, understand the language, then I'll give them I offer them the solution. If you have a good budget, this is what we're going to use. If you have this budget, we're going to use this one. But don't expect fast results, because even if you end up on the front page of Google in the AdWord, and you pay $100 a day, but guess what? You got all the clicks, but only one call that cost you $20. Or if we made a $20, it doesn't make anything.
Yeah, it goes back to basic sales. People buy from who they know. You have to build that credibility and that bridge with your customer.
Yes.
To really, and that doesn't. You can't pay for that.
You're absolutely correct, because Melissa had an excellent point right here. Because when they go to your website, how is your website set up? What kind of language is there?
And it's easy to click on.
Is it easy to click or no, right? Is it something they can trust? Do you have some content that they can read? Does that make sense? Typically, on the web, when somebody visits the website, they don't make a sale right away. Did you know that, right? Just like in real life, how many times we need a lead to close the deal? Maybe like, what, 7 to 9 times to close the actual deal? That's what the statistics say, right? Same thing in the internet. They're going to come to your website, I'm going to put another one. People are going to shop around until they just read more, are convinced, then they're going to buy. If you look at the analytics, you will notice a lot of percentage of followers, of visitors are return visitors from the same IP address. Why? Because they came once, twice, 3 times, and now they're buying it. Does that make sense? For attorney, for instance, people go to shop around for attorneys. They're going to look at the website, they look at the testimonial, they look at
Facebook,
everything.
I just looked for an attorney today and I said, affordable attorneys in San Antonio.
See? That means you're looking for a cheap attorney.
Yeah, that is one. But
See?
I Googled it.
Yes. You see the cheap attorney, but then are they going to be good service? You see what I'm saying? But you find affordable attorney, right? So, but you still have, did you call them right away? You were still just kind of looking around, looking at their website, figuring
I
out.
looked at the website at one that had just an explanation of the whole process that I wanted to do. And it was just giving you the option of saying, you can do it by yourself.
I see. Very smart.
This is how to do it, or you can just hire me.
See, that's very smart.
Yeah, that is.
That's very, you know why? Because they're giving you the solution. So if you don't need them, you can still get help. But because they give you the value, you know what? I'm not an expert in this area. They tell me how it's done, let them do it.
Exactly. So I did. I followed the advice, and then I went to what I needed to go. Went to go back to the papers, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna call her.
See? Yeah. Same thing. Why do you think I'm teaching this class? Right? It's the same thing. But that's true, that because they give value. They didn't hide. They didn't say you to call us. Let us tell you how it's done. Like for instance, I use Legal Shield for all the legal paper and advice and whatnot, right? So when I call them, sometimes they tell me, you can do this by yourself. Here's the link. This is what you need to do. Just because they told me, you know what, I don't have time. Let me just pay you and take care of it. Because the trust factor, right? Because time is money. I don't want to spend time
Learning.
this. If I know an expert, I have the money, just pay them. I'd rather go focus on something else that can make more money, right? That's the one thing I never understood. Like when a long time ago, I used to look at some people like hire, gardener or landscaper, and I was like, man, these people are so lazy. Can't they just do it by themselves? Right? I used to think like that. That's then my mentor smacked me in the head and said, no, dude, look, that is a smart person because first of all, he's helping the landscaper business owner to earn income, which is true, and secondly, he's probably building his dream and
doing more money.
Yeah, make money, right? Why waste time on doing it? So you know what? That's true. That makes sense. All right. Quality score. How do you estimate for how well Google AdWords is performing? You have to look at the landing page, how many click-through rate, and the relevancy of the keyword. Okay, that's how Google calculates. And when you go to the AdWord in the back end, it will tell you which ad is relevant, which ad has a higher score, which is like what, 10? I think the score is 10, right? Maximum 10. So if it's like 7, that's good. If it's 8, oh, that's better. If it's like 2 or 3, that's weak. So we exactly tell you which one can give you a better, conversion or click. Okay, so that's what you have to look for. Now, so when you structure the account for your success, right? When you do the keyword research through Google AdWords, if I type, let's say, flowers, just a general keyword, flowers. So what happened, Google's going to give you ad group by default and keyword ideas. So in the ad group, they will actually categorize it. Flower silver, flower blue, whatever. Does that make sense? So when you create the ad, you don't want to do this. Here's the thing, you don't want to do this. That's another mistake. People pick one campaign, right? Ad group. They just grab one ad group, they call it, let's say, furniture. This is the ad, and they pick several keywords, right? That's incorrect. What you're supposed to do, you're supposed to create several ad groups. So right here you have leather sectionals, leather love seats, leather chairs, and among that you have different ads. See that? Different ads, different keywords, then multiple variation of key phrases. Why? Because you want the Google AdWords to do what? Rotate.
So in my case in real estate, how can you?
That's an excellent question. What do you do in real estate? Do you sell properties? Do you sell foreclosure homes? Do you?
All of it, but I mean, there's so much of it.
Right. So in the beginner, I would advise you can make like as many ad groups you want, but that means you have to pay more. Does that make sense? I recommend not more than, for beginners, I recommend maybe 2 or 3.
2.
So you have like maybe selling homes, buying homes, foreclosure, right? And see what the most relevant key phrase is within foreclosure, within selling homes, within buying houses. Does that make sense? Then you let the ad run, and it will tell you which one. And the cool thing about Google AdWords, it will tell you which one actually brought you most of the click, and which one can actually bring you the what do you call it, the conversion. And the one that doesn't give you enough conversion, you can basically pause it.
Yeah.
Pause it. Does that make sense? The idea why you have to do this, because you want to get your website, you want your customer to basically find you. All the eyeballs have to see you. Does that make sense? Not for one key phrase, but several. And these several key phrases, they have to be relevant, not just like something you make it up. That's where you have to use Google Keyword Planner, Keyword Tool IO, or Keyword Spy. Does that make sense? Because if you do it this way, then you can see exactly from which ad group you're getting the most benefit. Again, when we do the hands-on in the seminar, I'll show you exactly how to set it up. Okay? But this is the proper way to do it. Did they do the same thing on your own right there? Okay. Alright, so what about the keyword match? So when you do a keyword research, there's a broad match, there's a phrase match, and there's an exact match. Okay? Broad could mean anything. If I say flower, it could mean flower, the actual flower. It could mean flower cartoon show. It could mean anything. It's too broad.
Paper flower?
Paper flower. Does that make sense? It's too broad. That's the one issue with the broad keyword. With the phrase, that is the actual sentence. Like somebody's looking for, nice blue flower. It's actual phrase. Does that make sense? And the exact match, that means I want the exact keyword. No variation, just exactly how it is.
Alaska, for example.
Yeah, and the negative one, this is like, for instance, let's say for instance we do, let me give you an example. Let's say you do 30-minute consultation, right? And you want customer to find you for 30-minute consultation, but you don't want customers that are looking for free 30-minute consultation. Does that make sense? So what you do in your Google AdWords, you add the word free, because you don't want anybody that's looking for free 30-minute consultation, because if they do and they click on your ad, oh, you're actually charging me, I'm not going to buy from you. That's what the negative keyword means. It doesn't mean negative in the sense of negativity. It means some keyword you don't want to associate with. Does that make sense?
Okay, in the case of realtor, what will be?
Well, it depends on your ad. What are you saying on the ad? It depends on your ad. Do you understand what I'm talking about, the negative? Like for instance, if I'm offering a 30-minute consultation for $30, I don't want somebody to type free consultation for 30 minutes and find my ad. Then I'm going to lose money because they're going to click on it. That's not my audience.
Yeah, correct.
So I'm going to add the word free in the negative section of the keyword. When you run the Google AdWords, it says, what do you want to put in the negative? You put those cheap jobs,
So
free. So Google will prevent that. They're not going to let that people to see your ad. So that's a cool thing that I like about the negative feature. So think of keyword that you don't want them to find you. Like for instance, we have one customer that does fashion, right? So what happened? People were finding her website for some sort of food or some kid stuff. They're finding her site for that. You don't want that. So what you do, you take those keywords and drop it on the negative. So that way they cannot pull your ad. Does that make sense? That's what the negative is for. You want to prevent people not finding it, because if they find your ad, they thought it was free, they click, you pay for non-targeted customer.
Like me today, looking for an attorney that didn't
So
want
you
to
need
do
to-
cheap business.
Yeah.
See? There you go.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's marketing.
Yes.
For example, I use lawyer free.
Yeah.
It's a lot of clicks, and then people come to the office. Yeah, the first consultant is free. So that, come on. Give me
Yeah,
money.
you're gonna piss them off. Yeah. So that's what I mean by exact. Means the exact word, phrase, or sentence, and broad is too broad. Okay, you don't want to use too broad sometimes because you might not hit the right customer. Does that make sense? You don't look for phrase or exact.
Yeah, for example, for negative, I have, my product was visa. It's like, okay, we provide visas, like visa for tourist, immigration, and employee visa, that kind of visa. Because a lot of people is coming for visa money.
Yes, then you're gonna take that and put on the negative.
Yeah, after that I figure out the negative thing.
Yes, that's what it's for. So do you understand? Negative doesn't mean negative keyword. It means it's not. You don't want it to be for your advertising. Like on one of my clients, they do a surgery, right? We make sure that in the negative, we're not going to put weight loss, Weight Watchers, 10-minute fit workout. We don't do that. So we need to make sure that whoever type those things, we don't show up for their ad. We're only looking for surgery, surgeon weight loss, surgery weight loss, doctor, surgery, whatever, bariatric, only those. Anything that we don't want, we put in the negative. Like, exercise, we don't do exercise, we do operation. Okay? Any question about the keyword match? All right. So there you go. As an example for example, the word license, the negative word used. You don't want to, let's say you're a licensed attorney. You don't want to have used license. Somebody probably put that, used license. Does that make sense? So these are some of the words that associate with these words that you don't want it. Okay? Supplies, definition, or price, history, jobs, pictures, training, pics, license, used, study lyrics. Study lyrics. Okay, free, like become free. Alright, so start with the keyword planner. So when you log into Google AdWords, you go to tools, there's the keyword planner right here. Okay? It comes with the Google AdWords. Once you click on that, you just do a search. So search for the keyword and group ideas. Get search volume for a list of keywords or group them into ad groups. Then you can take all those keywords and upload it back to, there's a section in Google Keyword Planner called Estimate of Traffic. It will tell you exactly these keywords, how many of them actually can get what kind of traffic. Then you'll decide which one you want to use for those 3 ad groups that you created. Does that make sense?
And you said the ad groups you pay additional for each.
Well, that's a good question. What happened? No, you put them together, all of it, right? And whatever money you put, Google will grab from that money. That's it. You're not paying ad for every group. You're just combining the 3 AdWord group. Does that make sense? And running the ads, we can utilize all the key phrases and the keywords. Does that make sense? That's what it's for. All right. So here's how you do your AdWord. You have to make sure that your headline is not more than 25 characters, right? And of course, the website URL is not more than 35 characters. So if you have too long of a website, you gotta get a shortener or something. Don't have too long of a website, especially not more than 35. Okay?
This is coming in the.
This is and the description has the 2 line. Total is 35 characters right here, and the destination, of course, is your website. Okay? So that's how typically your ad looks like. There is a headline, there's a link, and a description. And you want to make the description effective, put call to action. Like click now, buy now, get it now, some sort of call to action. That's how you make it different than everybody else. I've seen a lot of AdWords just, we provide services, click, stop. I'm like, that's it? Right? I mean, is there anything else I can do? Right? But typically, this is the 4 areas that you have to look for. Okay? That's the ad text specification. Alright, what is a good AdWord ad? Alright, make sure it has to be relevant in the ad group. So remember the furniture that I showed you, furniture leather, furniture sofa, furniture, love seat, and they have key phrases that is relevant to the specific ad group. Okay? You don't want to put one, let's say if you take the example of the furniture, if I say love seat and I'm going to put a keyword that says small chair, that's not part of the love seat furniture. Does that make sense? So what they're saying, if you have 3 ad group, 3 key phrases, all the keywords below them are exactly relevant to that ad group. Then they're not different because you don't want people to get confused, right? Then for those kind of keywords, make sure they get like high click-through rate and they stand out from your competitor. And of course, always put a call to action because that's number 1 that I see. Most of them don't even put a call to action. Like, call today, get the service, find out more, learn more, that kind of stuff, okay? And when you link, remember, when you link that ad, you can link it to a landing page or a specific page that you're advertising for. So for instance, our surgeon's client, what we did, we just made a very basic landing page. So when they click on it, it takes them to the page that has a testimonial and call the clinic to set up an appointment right away. We did not take it to the homepage because the homepage is busy. Has a lot of stuff going on. And the service page, a lot of stuff going on. All we did just made a basic landing page. There's a big phone number and an address and maybe a video, and that's it. Very basic. So make sure that if you create a landing page for the ad, keep it very specific to that specific address. That's why landing pages comes handy for Google AdWords, because you can make a variation of landing pages. So many different of them. Does that make sense? So that's how you can make your AdWords stand out. Any questions so far? We good?
Yep.
You guys are scholars. All right. So here we go. How can I make my ad effective? How can I make my AdWords effective? So you can ask these questions like, what sets your business apart? Right? What details help you sell your product and services? What should a potential customer do next? For instance, why choose you? If you can answer these questions, based on that, you create the ad. That's how your ads will be very effective. Like, for instance, an example, how you're different in that business, we won an award, right? Our product made in the US, we're always on time. So put that kind of information on the ad. Like for that attorney, you should have put like, we're the best in, I don't know, being very cheap. Right? Does that make sense? So you see the question? If you can answer this question, you need to make sure you write this thing down, because if you can answer this question, you can make an awesome ad that can actually help you with conversion. Okay? For instance, detail that sells, right? Battery lasts 8 hours, evening classes available, 10 convenient locations. Does that make sense? And the last one is, what should a potential customer do? Buy now, get a free quote, download the catalog. So you have the call to action, you have the call to action, you got the details, and why you're different. Like for instance, our surgeon could have said 10 years in business, 10 years in practice, 10 years in, and it's still going. Like for the attorney, if you put like, I don't know, 10 years in a row, a word for 10 years. Does that make sense? And best service in town. And then of course, call to action. Just don't be like Jim Adler. Call me now! They have it, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's stuck in my head.
No, it's like the whole reason I don't even call. It's like this.
I don't know who told him to talk like that. But hey, it's working, I guess. But you see what I'm saying? If you memorize or just write down these 3 questions and answer them for your ad, then hopefully your ad will be very effective. Because most people that start, they don't approach like this. They don't know what to write, they don't know what to type, they just put something and they expect a miracle to happen. But if you look at these 3 questions and answer them, then definitely you get some conversion.
They say the Best Buy and GoDaddy are the best ones.
Really?
Yeah, I read that in the critique.
In the ads, right? I love market, what is it, Keyword Spy, because Keyword Spy can tell you compare as actual ad. We're going to do that right now. Any questions so far about these 3 questions to make your ad effective? Good. So there you go. Here's the new version, the ad extension example. That one you can add the phone number, you can add the actual address, you can also add, look at that, like the pages.
And the extensions, are they additional fees on?
No. So again, that's the beauty thing about Google. The price that you set is one, but how you configure everything is just going to eat up from that price.
That's what I like is that you have the location extensions. That's why I was wondering if you're able to see how many people click on it to go ahead and because to me that would generate that they're coming out, they're coming to look for.
You're absolutely correct, and always remember, you're only going to pay for what when they click or when they, in this case, call you.
Because it's different, right? When they press the call action.
Yes.
To the price of the text.
Absolutely. Then when you go on the back end of your Google AdWords, it will tell you how your money was used. For which link, for which call, for which this. Okay? But as I said, I mean, once you get to know all the functionality of the back end, right, then it's going to be fun for you because you can just do testing all day long. Close this, open this, try that. There was one ad, again, the surgeon. Someone ran an ad for them for a YouTube video. Right? I have to shut it down. You know why? Because people don't have experience, right? They're running the ad and the YouTube video was showing up for keywords like Lady Gaga and Lil Wayne and then just that their commercial of surgery, losing weight, was showing up in Lady Gaga's video. I'm like, that's not our audience. That's not our customer. And they're paying for a lot of money. We'll have to shut it down. And Lil Wayne, I told the doctor that hilarious. You were showing Lil Wayne's video. I'm like, really? So that's YouTube ad that shows up in different videos. So you can target on which video of other YouTube channels you want the ad to show up. It was a video ad. No, it wasn't the bottom 10, it was the actual video. You know how sometimes your video
15
plays?
seconds it ran before.
That's the ad, yeah, it was showing up. I'm like, it's hard to shut it down.
Yeah.
Again, when you have no experience, you can make a lot of mistakes. But it was hilarious. I'm like, what? All of these links are wrong. All these videos are showing up is actually not your customer. You should show up in like KSAT, YouTube channel, or something local. Because they're local clients, does that make sense? Well, I was laughing so hard, I'm like, look at this.
But the best one then will be the location extension.
That's a beautiful point, Betty, but what you have to do, remember, you always test. There is no blueprint that says if you do this, you're going to get a good result. If you do this, good result. Does that make sense? It's based on your customers.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's
based on.
that, it depends on your customer.
Yes, and remember, you're absolutely correct. And remember, you always rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I'm telling you, if there was a blueprint, then everyone would be rich. But that's not the case because you always have to test and run it. That's why I tell businesses, if you run the AdWords by yourself, good luck. You're not going to have the time to monitor and track and change. Because it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work.
So like the call extension, they would click on there, and so somehow they would pick up on the phone. They would
That's on the mobile.
on the mobile.
That's on the mobile.
Okay.
That's on the mobile, not on the. That's on the mobile. So if I find the information, when I click, I'm calling right away. I don't have to dial the number. I just click.
And that would be cost extra money.
No, same. Whatever the bid is.
Whatever,
Yeah.
look at-
And it doesn't show the number.
It doesn't show the number. It just shows the sign. Yes.
Because
Yeah. And when you set up the account, the number's in the back. And in fact, every website, whether you do ad or not, you should have the phone number clickable.
Okay, correct, we want to call you back.
Yeah, nobody's gonna go. People are so. I mean, I'm myself lazy too because I put myself as a lazy person, and I try to find something that's easier for me. Okay. Most customer, if they find your website and there's a phone number that has the actual number, they're not gonna dial.
So
They're gonna click right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
Because-
the extensions, are they,
You can add as many.
individual, but do they have them all together?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think I can only do this by itself,
And
or that by itself, or that by itself. Yes.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
you need to run some difference.
Yeah. But this was awesome. When I heard about this one, I'm like, oh man. When we ran the test, customer clicking on it because they thought it was organic, but it's not.
So how do they determine which extension comes up?
You can decide because when you set up the extension, you can decide what link you want to point it to. Yeah, or you can select this one. So when you go to the AdWord, I'll show you how to set this up.
So in my case, since my clients are all from all over the US,
Uh-huh.
I don't want my address because they're not gonna
Yeah.
know if it's
Correct.
Colorado.
There should be.
But you want probably this,
That one.
Yeah.
okay? Or maybe if you want to set up an extension, maybe services, how to. Does that make sense? Maybe you have a page that says how to, close a deal, make them go there.
what happens if you have a customer in Colorado?
Right.
Moving to San Antonio.
Correct.
Well, they'll find it on the website when they.
Yeah.
I would want them to click get moving.
Yeah.
And not just, oh, beautiful. Not just that. Remember, like Betty said, usability is number one.
Yeah.
The user experience is number one. That means you want to make sure that whoever finds you, it's very easy for them to find you, to call you, to click.
Yeah.
You don't want them to think. You don't want them to figure it out.
And as a person who's bought and sold, you don't care where your realtor is
Yeah.
located. You just, I want to call you. Can you get me a set of,
Yes.
listings to look at and what I want? That's pretty much
There is
it.
one of the
I am in
issues.
Colorado, I'm a military family.
Yes.
I'm moving to San Antonio because they transfer my husband.
So what you do in that situation, I'm glad you mentioned that. You can set up a site link called Moving to San Antonio.
Yeah.
And when they click on it, it has all the explanation how to move to San Antonio.
Yeah.
First, call me. First, clicking, because that's the information I'm looking for, and that could be another keyword. Moving to San Antonio.
Yeah, you could go for crime data on neighborhoods, because I know, when I said I just moved and everything, crime
Right.
data on neighborhoods, the sex offenders registry list, things like that. You want
If I have
your
kids
grade,
in
your
this-
report card on the schools,
You
things like
see,
that.
if you like, awesome, Melissa. If you share what Melissa just said, in a page or like a blog post, like when you move, here's the good and the bad, and what you need to be careful from. Here's information. Oh wow, this person knows what they're talking about. They're sharing all this information. You know what? I'm gonna call you.
The school district.
I mean, it goes back to Red Book sales too. I mean, when he tells you, the best way to place your ad or how to sell yourself is interview your existing customers.
Absolutely.
What did they want? What did they need? That's something like even with I have several clients that I help do stuff for. It's a mom and pop liquor store, so when I worked there, you know, just to kind of, when I helped her out, but I did that part with the customers, you know, how did you find us? The one, you know, so what I found out is these are tourists, and the way they found it was Yelp and stuff, closest liquor store.
Yeah.
That's pretty much right there, closest liquor store for downtown, and that's, you know, that's going to be the one for all the walk-ups. Asking people, why did you buy from us? Because I mean, it's a boutique liquor store, so the prices are not like your specs or anything like that. It's location, and then the neighborhood lets her, and they support the local business.
Yep.
So those are my 2 things. I'm like, okay, well, those are some of the things to put into her ads and stuff like that.
One of the cool things, I was awesome about it. So one of the cool things about AdWords is that you would know within 24 hours that people are actually clicking. You'll get the click, like somebody click on the site. That means the traffic is fast. You're gonna get it anyway. But when it comes to conversion, that's when you have to kind of, it's challenging, have to struggle, right? Because with the organic, it's gonna take you maybe a couple of months to get traffic. Does that make sense? But with the AdWords, you can get a quick click.
Yeah.
Or Facebook advertising, you can get pretty quick, fast traffic.
Yeah.
But you have to invest more money. Does that make sense?
And like for realtors, I would guess the best time of year to start putting those out would be towards the end of school year, because that's when a lot of people make their
Correct.
because
We
you don't
don't, actually, you don't even need to advertise in the summer, to be honest with you, because they're already gonna move.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But they
before,
wanna be-
before
they
like
wanna be
maybe that
found.
last 3 months of school,
No, yes.
so that they find you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that during that time to develop the branding. And like I said, as opposed to any realtor, you want them to establish with you. You know.
I love the conversation. It's awesome. Yes.
So going back to the allowance, let's say your allowance for the day is $100, but you only get like $50 worth of clicks. Does that $50, does it roll over or is it on?
No, for that day it's gone. If you still click, $50 is stop. That's it. Then tomorrow we'll start again. But you only got 2
No,
clicks
if
in
your
one
limit
day.
is $100.
For the whole month?
No, for the day. But
Yeah.
then you only got $50 worth of clicks.
It won't happen. It'll lose all $100.
You limit
Yeah.
how many clicks, no?
No, you don't limit the clicks. This is the thing. Let's say
But
you limit the budget. I put $100 a day to be used. Now, if Google tells me you're paying, let's say, $5 a click,
Okay,
right? How many clicks you gonna get to reach the 100?
20.
That's it.
Yeah.
That means after 20 you're done. There's no more click. It's gonna stop.
yeah, trust me, it'll drive the traffic to use
Yeah.
all of your budget.
So it never, well, let's say if I.
You never have rollover money.
You never have really, okay, I was gonna say, if you put 500, does you only use 250?
No, they'll suck it dry completely.
Yeah.
You know, somebody looked for
They-
moose
they
horn.
find-
There you go. They sent them that
Yeah.
way.
Then go to the next day because you can also set up for a monthly. Like if you do it daily, from what day to what day you're gonna close it. Like in Facebook, even in Google Ads, I can put like, January 1st till January 30th, $50 a day. That's it. So that means every day is gonna cap that $50. Then when you log into the Google AdWords, it will show you how many click for this day, how many click for next day, and that's it. Then you have to look at the conversion, how many calls you got, how many opt-in, how many that. But yeah, they're gonna, of course, use all the money. That's why I say if you want the best result, minimum $1,000 a month, minimum, to get at least some good result.
How long for $1,000?
I prefer, of course, forever, right? I tell them it's
Weekly? Okay.
for 3 months, do it 3 months and $1,000 a month for 3 months. Because why? The reason why, because you get so much information by running the ads.
Yes.
You'll get the information of what worked, what didn't work, what is going to work, what is not going to work. Then if the client makes some money within 3 months, then they can continue forever. But now you have enough data so you can rely on which was working. When you apply for the next 3 months, you're going to have more better result because you got rid of the one that doesn't work.
Correct.
It's always testing. That's number one. Number two,
Trial and error.
you're absolutely correct. Number two, seasonal. Sometimes it's not going to be, even if you have the good data that's going to bring a conversion, maybe in summer the traffic is down because nobody's looking for it.
Yeah.
So you also have to look at the season, the holidays, all these come into back.
Depend on what you want
Yes.
to offer.
Absolutely.
Houses, shoes, food.
Right. And the Google Keyword Planner will show you on which month was the highest in search and which one was lowest. So if let's say December is the lowest, that means you gotta lower down your budget. You don't have to even do anything because according to Google, in this month is low. So why you spend?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The demand.
So you can demand, you just go with the demand. Yes.
Supply and demand.
Any questions? Are we good?
Yeah.
Good stuff, right?
Good stuff.
All right, so what is the display network? That's what I talked in the beginning. So that means your ad is going to be shown on different sites that are part of the Google network. I don't have the list, but if I find it, remind me. I'm going to show you the list of network websites. Like, of course it's going to show up on YouTube and Blogger and Map and Google Shopping, but I'm talking about New York Times, Time Magazine, those sort of sites. Does that make sense? Those are part of Google's network partners. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by ad on Google Display Network. So it can be a text ad, it could be an image, on a different website, it could be a video on another website, your video. Okay, it can also be on a mobile device or another website. Right? What is a placement? A placement is a location on the display network where ads can appear, like, relevant websites. That means if I do, let's say, if I'm an attorney, I want to make sure that my ad will show up on another, like a law firm website or law info website. Does that make sense? Or any section in any website that talks about law firm. Blogs, any blogs within my niche, if they take ads from Google, I can show up on their website. Article site or even apps.
So you're saying you should not put all your money in Google AdWords, but diversify it and create articles?
No, what I'm saying, you can do the AdWords, but make sure the ad shows up somewhere else. Shows up on a third-party website. Let's say, I don't know, what's it, Trillo? Trillia. Let's say your ad shows up in Trillia. If they accept Google AdWords on their section of the website, so there's a chance your picture will show up. You know what I'm saying? Your ad can show up there. But I don't have the list of who the
Partners are.
Yeah, if I have the list, you can look at the list and see which one that you can have your ad to show up to. Okay? That's what display network means. I don't know if you noticed that if you go to sometime Priceline and suddenly you see this ad, you check maybe Apple, and suddenly I see an ad for Apple. How did that end up there?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? How did my ad end up, or how did what I was looking for shows up on a different site, not even in the search, right? If you go to Time Magazine, sometime if you search for, let's say, for example, if you're looking for Olive Garden, the restaurant, now you go into Huffington Post, reading some information, and suddenly there's an ad on the Huffington Post website. How did that happen? Display. Placement. Does that make sense? Okay. But again, we'll show you, when we do the hands-on of the seminar, we'll show you where you need to go to add your image. Because if you add your website, as an example here, ads are not triggered by search. Advertisers are not limited to text ad. You see, I can have my image on any website, and there's a feature. You see the keyword planner? It says display planner. When you click on the display planner, then from there you can see exactly where your ad's going to be shown.
Now, I know you said, Facebook doesn't use that because, they sell their own stuff.
Right.
But are they somehow tapping into that thing when you're doing your search, like on your mobile device? Because, well, not even on my face, on my desktop. When I've done searches,
right,
I notice on the Google sidebar, it may be like, if I look up like a rockabilly scene, then I'm getting all of these rockabilly festival ads on the side of my Facebook.
Right.
So I kind of wonder how
they have something called
an ad tracker.
It's retargeting. It's called the Facebook Pixels. So a lot of these companies, what they do, they take the code and they put it in the back end of their website. So if I go to Google and I find your website, but I didn't do anything, I just clicked on it, looked for a few minutes, and kind of closed it down. If I log into Facebook and you're running an ad, guess what? I can see your ad.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the code you put on the back end of the website.
Yeah.
And not just that, for Facebook, if you have a list of email subscribers, I can download all the emails and upload it to the ad. So when they log into Facebook, they'll see my ad.
Oh.
So you're targeting. So that idea, actually, they got it from Google.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like Facebook is using something off of the Google platform.
Yeah, because on Google is cache. If you go to a different website, it's cache,
Yeah.
right? And you leave, and Google going to find that you're looking for this information, and Google going to provide you those ads because you already searched for it.
Retargeting, right?
Retargeting, yes.
So Facebook is able to help
Do the same thing.
we're going to build off of our customers' searches. Okay.
Absolutely.
What is your experience on conversions or retargeting?
It's actually great. Yeah, but you have to do so many tests because, again, it goes back to, if I went to your website, I did not find, let's say, a high-end product and I left. So when I do the retargeting, maybe I do retargeting for something different product within the same niche because maybe they missed it. Does that make sense? If they're looking for a, I don't know, Gucci watch, but they couldn't find it, They found a Casio watch, right? So I'm gonna retarget it back and show them, hey, we also have a Gucci watch. You know, again, it's all testing to see which one bring them back to convert, or you can show them again. Because if they saw it and left, that means why did they convert?
Correct, but isn't the retargeting just the ad, just one image? It's not. In 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's almost 8:30.
Yeah.
It's 8:30.
Okay. Get estimate for impression each and cost, create a management plan, find top customer location. Okay, there you go. See ideas for ad groups, keywords. Okay, that's the same thing, and that's it. The tips for making great image ads. Use a prominent call to action in the ad. So when you make an image, make sure there's a call to action on the image itself.
Is there a limit to the words that you can?
Not like ridiculous.
Facebook or something like that. Okay.
And there's no limit, but it's still you gotta keep it very simple.
Clean, yeah.
Clear, high quality images. Text should be easy to read. Experiment with incentive like promotions and coupons. You can do coupons, you can do promotion. That works really, really good. Like 50% off, 20% off. That works very good. So let's see. Start by creating an ad. Select the image, and that's it. So this one, if you add your website, just like Facebook, it will basically grab whatever image is on that specific landing page. It's going to look something like that, you see? It's going to give you options, which one you want to pick for your ad. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So you let the ad pick the image from your website, and it's going to look something like that, like that, like that, like that. And you're going to pick which one you like and use that. So now your ad is called, with the image, going to look like this, either on the search or on somebody else's website. Okay, which is awesome because it's visual. It's visual. So it will automatically generate for you, and you have to select which one fits the image. Okay.
Image ads cost extra?
No, it's the same. It's all the same. Again, there's no extra. Again, whatever price you put, Google will try to just use it as a. And they're not going to pay you. You're going to click more because you have images. They want to make sure that it shows up anywhere else. Last but not least, make sure there you go, all the links for the Express, for the AdWord, and guess what? You can actually call them. Yes, if you need help, you can actually call them. Yes. So they can help you set it up. In fact, what happens if you use the AdWords like several times, recently I've noticed that the Google AdWords team, they actually will call you and they'll walk you through. They will tell you, are you having trouble? We noticed that you spent $100, you didn't make anything. Let me show you how to fix it.
Yeah.
Really?
It depends on you spend, they give you a gift card, it's $100.
Yep. So they got better right now, because I back in the days, I didn't have that back in the days. But now you can call them and they can walk you through step by step. It doesn't matter how long it takes over the phone. Okay? I had a good experience with them. They were actually walking me through for one of my clients. Like, they explained to me, like, why should I use this? Why should I disable this? Why should I, awesome. The actual Google, not the agencies, the actual Google from the actual, what is it, Mountain View, right? California. They will call you. Or you can just call them. If you're like nervous, you don't know how to set up, just call them. Hey, I want to set up a regular Google AdWords, and they will ask you questions, and you explain to them what I want. They're going to ask you, what do you want? Do you want calls? Do you want lists in the email? Do you want them to stop by your shop? Does that make sense? And they're going to walk you through. Okay? All right, any more questions? Are we good? All right, sorry, the library has to close, so.
Yeah, no, that's.
We wanted to use Mario's website
Hit him up on
to check it out. All right, folks, thank you for waiting on Periscope. We'll see you all later. I appreciate for y'all being patient. Check the replay if you missed it.
You had one question, I think, that popped up there too. So
Cool. Thank you for the hearts, and I'll check the question in Twitter and get back with you. Thank you again. See you all later. Here we go. This is my thumbs up.